Alright, so we are back for another video, and for today we're going to continue our coverage of sub $10 earphones. This is the KBear Dumpling. So this is actually an older pair. I have had it in the studio for quite some time, but I haven't reviewed it. But I still do like to check it out because again, this is a sub $10 pair, and also a bullet style earphone as well, and dynamic driver, so false right smack with the earphone that we have reviewed in the previous video, the Thin Hi-Fi Elf. So it would be interesting to see how this compares to the Thin Hi-Fi Elf. Some specifications: 32 ohm impedance, 118 dB in sensitivity, 20 to 20 kHz in the frequency range, 1.2 meters in cable, 3.5 millimeter straight plug as well, and 6 millimeter composite diaphragm as well. So this is dynamic driver. So yeah, opening it up, and yeah, from KBear, I haven't actually listened to a KBear recently that's something that I'm crazy about. So how will this fare? We're gonna figure that out here in this video. So actually, that is your earphone itself. Actually, that's quite small, maybe smaller compared to the Elf that we have checked out, and maybe some spaceship vibes here, that kind of small. So that's definitely interesting. But yeah, let's check out what you're getting in the box. You're getting some tips and actually not much stuff inside. So compared to what you're getting with the Thin Hi-Fi Elf, that's definitely more in the box here for this price point. Right, so this is the earphone itself. It's actually quite a different look here. So definitely just a bit more minimalist in design compared to what you're getting with the Moondrop Spaceship. But actually you're getting that maybe trims of KBear at the side, and definitely a bullet style design as well. So I actually can't think of an earphone that is something like this. So maybe as small as the Spaceship, but maybe even a touch bigger maybe compared to the Spaceships, but definitely in the small side here. But definitely a minimalist kind of look. If you look at that, that is your nozzle. That's definitely a looker for me, especially for the price point. I like the build quality as well, L and R, and you're getting that small trims of KBear. So actually, from what I remember before, the KBears have similarities in the sound compared to some other KZs. So if that is the sound, maybe signature that they're still aiming for, we might be expecting maybe a V-shaped type of earphone. That is something for us to check out. So yeah, this is it with the tips in. So yeah, very minimalist in design here. So yeah, very similar to maybe the Spaceships, but this is still a bit smaller. Actually, for the cables, kind of Xiaomi style, not the best for sure. I do still like the Thin Hi-Fi Elf compared to this. Maybe it reminds me of the Moondrop Spaceships as well. So let's try to put this on the ear. So yeah, on the ear, this is definitely very similar to the Moondrop Spaceships. A lot of similarities to that. It fits really well actually. So actually do find bullet style earphones to fit my ears really well, and it is so here as well. So stability really good. It's actually very light, so it's quite breathable to the ear as well, because it's just a nozzle that you put in your ear. So breathability is nice, comfort is nice as well, and actually isolation is quite good as well, because you can put this into your ear a little bit. So the comfort is really good here for me as well. So yeah, for the unboxing experience, maybe just the cable that I have an issue with, but yeah, this is your typical maybe bullet style earphones. But let's try to listen to some tunes and let's see how this sounds like. Of course, we're gonna start with the Our September by Earth, Wind and Fire for our initial impressions. First impressions, has some warmth at the bottom, and definitely more of a V-shaped type of sound, maybe a bit of bass boost. Actually, maybe reminds me of a Blon type of sound here. Maybe a Blon 03 type of sound. Definitely more of a fun earphone. Something that I am expecting actually for the KBears. Quite a smooth sounding pair. Warm V type of listen. And a quite fun musical type of presentation as well. So maybe the closest to a Blon for me. That is something that I think is the closest competitor to this. Maybe the Blon 03s. So let us try another track. Maybe some Perm by Bruno Mars. So actually for the bass here, so definitely elevated for me in the mix, around 3 dB, 4 dB with some mid-bass bleed. So really big bass for me in the mix. So actually for this price point, maybe one of the bigger basses And actually for the bass, this might be a bit faster compared to the Blon-03s. So I guess not as boomy as your Blons. This a bit tight, but still this is in the boomy side, but just a little bit tighter, but still quite boomy, quite big for me in the mix. This is definitely the most dominant part of the spectrum. Yeah, this will definitely be the bullet for bass heads for sure for this price point, and has some warmth as well. So some mid bass elevation, a lot of bass for me. Maybe one downside is this has maybe a touch of driver flex for me. So has a bit of maybe a bit more woofiness than what I'd like. But yeah, I enjoy the amount of bass here. Definitely for bass heads, you will love the listen here. Let us try some male vocals, maybe some I Miss You by Incubus. Yeah, for the male vocals, it's definitely recessed in the mix. Definitely has some clarity for me. Has some maybe 4K, 5K elevation there. And quite smooth in the presentation as well. But yeah, definitely a bit more recessed. But definitely more of a brighter vocal presentation here. Smooth, but actually this is not the biggest part of the spectrum. Again, this is quite recessed. The bass is still going to be more dominant for me in the spectrum. And the positioning is maybe around 3 to 4 dB recessed. And because there's some mid-bass bleed, it's a bit covered by the mid-bass. Let's try some female vocals. Yeah, for female vocals as well, it's a touch recessed. And yeah, it's in the smoother side of things, but again, not the biggest vocal presentation. It's definitely recessed for me in the mix. And actually for me, the vocals maybe has a touch of veil for me in the presentation. So it's definitely laid back in the mix for me. So even if it has maybe a touch of brightness for me in the presentation, the vocals is maybe a touch veiled for me in the presentation. But yeah, definitely it's not that dominant for me in the mix. So you won't buy this for vocals. Let us try some top end, maybe some Dream Theater. So going to the top end, we're listening to some I Shot the Sheriff. So for the cymbals, I find it maybe a bit thin for my liking, a bit peaky of a listen. There's some air there in around maybe 8 to maybe 10K, but not super maybe extended for me on top, not the dominant part of the spectrum. So yeah, the cymbals not that full-bodied for me, and the guitars as well. It's not the most airy top end as well. So the guitars doesn't have that shine that I'm looking for. But it's definitely musical. It's definitely quite musical, aggressive for me of presentation. So much like your other KBears, it has that maybe monitor qualities to the sound, but it's just the peakiness that I have an issue with. It's not natural for me to listen to, especially for dynamic drivers. But actually for the mids and the top end, not shouty for me, not harsh to listen to. So that's nice. Soundstage is small here, definitely cramped. Separation not that good because of the bigger nature of the bass and the smoother sound. Separation is not that black and white. Micro detail, not much here. Definitely a weakness of the dumpling. And tonally as well, this is in the warmer side of things. So definitely something that you want to listen to for maybe a casual listening session. So what do I think of the KBear Dumpling? So this is definitely a bass heads bullet. So in the $10 price point. So much like the AK6 Pros, this can be an alternative for you guys if you do like bass, because this is kind of like a blonde style of bass for that price point. So you're getting actually a pretty okay build quality, metal build quality, okay fitting to the ear as well. You're getting that big bass for me at the bottom, a bit smoother presentation, and kind of musical presentation as well. Fun presentation here with the dumpling. But my personal preference is I didn't like this that much. So the bass is a bit maybe bloaty for me, a bit too boomy for me for my liking. The vocals a bit too recessed for my liking as well, and kind of small in the mix. And the top end as well as that maybe peakiness to the presentation. So I didn't like this that much. So yeah, I do think there's some other earphones that you should check out, especially if you do like bass, in the $10 price point. So yeah, a lot of other earphones for you to consider. So this is not going to be recommended for me in the channel. Fortunately, you should go for other earphones in this price point. So that's my take with the KBear Dumpling. Of course, if you learn something, leave a like and subscribe for content like this in the future. Have you listened to the dumplings, and what is your favorite maybe $10 pair for bass? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt video. Goodbye.